You're getting a live look into Goodyear Ballpark, the winter home of the Indians and the Cincinnati Reds. The 2010 MSBL World Series is coming up next. Sports is proud to present coverage of the 2010 MSBL World Series. And today from Goodyear Ballpark, home of the Reds and the Indians, it's the Bay Area Dodgers taking on the home team, the Cardinals of Puget Sound. I'm Jeff Lowry. So glad you could join us. It's an absolutely gorgeous day. Our game time temperature, high 70s, low 80s. The Puget Sound Cardinals have struggled coming into this tournament looking for their first win, while the Dodgers, a team that, quite honestly, are primed to make a run at the national championship in this 3-2 sports 35 and over Woods Central Division. You look at some of the stars out here, including Erickson, 25 for the Dodgers, as they take their warm-up tosses here. We're about 5 minutes away from the first pitch. Number 11, Mike Smith. And the coach on the right for the Dodgers, of course, is Dale Mole. He's done a great job with this program, and they are hoping that they're going to make it very deep into the 35 or the 3-2 35 and over Woods Central. And we'll be back with a play-by-play right after this. Starting pitcher is Dan Nichols for the Cardinals. He's taking his final warm-up tosses, and we are getting set to go. MSBL World Series baseball action from Goodyear Baseball Park. 79 degrees, our game time temperature, and you get a look at River Acchiola, one of the top leadoff hitters, maybe one of the top athletes in this 3-2 35 Wood Bats Central. He takes a strike. This game is underway. He is getting the start at designated hitter. I don't know if he's been battling some injuries. Comes back with another fastball, and that missed inside. A ball and a strike to the leadoff hitter for the Bay Area Dodgers. We like to thank Coach Mole for setting up the videotaping this season, and always a pleasure videotaping many of the guys on this team, repeat customers. Well, the field looks like it's in pretty good shape considering the end of the year and overseeding, and just a gorgeous day for baseball. River way ahead in the count here as they play him pretty much straight away. Slightly over to the left field side is the center fielder, and this one's out of play to the right, or to the left side. Nichols delivers, and that pitch kind of handcuffed the catcher, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on the right-handed hitting River Acchiola. Shortstop Robbie Hitchcock is on deck, followed by Tom Schaefer and then Mark Lopez if they get that far. Inside ball 4, and a good at bat for River. He made Dan Nichols work a little bit on the very first at bat of the contest, and now the shortstop, Robbie Hitchcock. Well, they're going to need big things out of Hitchcock when they get into the playoffs. They're going to have to rely on solid defense throughout if this team has any chance of making it to the 3-2 sports 35 Central Division, as this play is knocked down by the third baseman, goes second one. Hitchcock gets down the line well, and it's a 5-4 fielder's choice, but what a tremendous play down there at the hot corner by Mike Jacobs. Third place hitter is Tom Schaefer, and the first pitch, a swing and a miss, 0-1. Breaking ball inside, and the count is even on the Dodgers center fielder at 1 ball and 1 strike. We're in the top of the first inning. A runner at first and 1 out and no score between the Dodgers and the Cardinals. The right-hander Nichols brings it plateward, and it's under the knees and maybe a bit outside. 2-1 on Tom Schaefer with catcher Mark Lopez on deck. Nichols checks the runner and comes in, and that slider forced Tom Schaefer to leave his feet as Dale Mole gives out the signs down at third base. He has done a great job with this team in this tournament, and that's ball 4. And a couple of walks here by Nichols in the first have put runners at first and second, and here's the hard-hitting catcher, Mark Lopez. Boy, not a bad-looking pitch there, just off the outside corner, ball 1. I think Nichols wanted that pitch. So the Dodgers trying to draw first blood. They got a runner in scoring position at second, one at first. And the 1-0 pitch is a breaking ball, and it catches the outside corner. A nice-looking pitch by Dan Nichols. Nichols will work the corners. He's going to be in and out. He's going to try to set up a fastball with breaking stuff. Here's a line shot in the center, and it falls for a base hit. Here comes the runner, and he's going to be in at third safely. He had to hold up to see if that ball was going to get caught. And a nice decoy by the center fielder by the Cardinals. So the bases are loaded. Lopez will be lifted for a courtesy runner, and now the batter is going to be Craig Bolris. Takes a strike. The base is loaded. One out. Top of the first, a scoreless tie. A ball and a strike. Portillo is on deck, the Dodgers right fielder. Here's the next delivery, and here's a swing and a ground ball down to third. Will they come home with it? They will. And it was a force out. He didn't need to tag the runner. I guess that was just for good measure. And some good Cardinal defense paying off here. Fielder's choice prevents the run from scoring. The bases remain loaded, and here's Art Portillo, who's getting the start out in right field. So Bolris is at first base. The courtesy runner at second for Lopez. Schaefer at third. Portillo, a hard-hitting, sixth-place hitter in the lineup for the Dodgers. Bases are loaded, 2 out here in the top of the first. And Nichols comes in with a beautiful pitch. Sinker that goes over at the knees for a called strike. Art's lining one out into left center field. Will it hold up? It will. And the left fielder will make the catch, and that'll retire the side. Good job by Chuck Collins out there in left field out of the Seattle, Washington area. We go to the bottom half of the first inning. The Dodgers leave 3. And here comes Bob Bader and the Puget Sound Cardinals, who have yet to win, and our starting pitcher is Mr. Erickson. And a look at the defensive alignment here for the Dodgers, led by their second baseman, Chad Mole. So Bob Bader to lead things off. He'll be followed by Kevin Akers and Mike Jacobs. No score, just starting the bottom half of the first inning. Tardy on that pitch, fouled it back to the screen. Erickson, a tough left-hander. He gets the ball, he brings it plateward, left that one upstairs. This is a guy, he's going to work very quickly. He's got a very good fastball, and he's a guy, he just challenges hitters. And he comes right after him, as you can see. But he has fallen behind 3 balls and a strike to Bob Bader. Ready with the 3-1 offering, and that is in there. Knee-high outside corner. Lefty versus lefty. Boy, a tough assignment for Bader. 3-2 pitch, and he just got a piece of that one. Thank goodness no one was injured on that play. As you look at the Bay Area dugout. The 3-2 again, and he struck him out swinging. The catcher, for good measure, will throw him out at first. So out number one for Puget Sound, and the batter is another left-hander in Kevin Akers. Kevin Akers, excuse me. 0-1. The pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Might be a good idea that these Cardinal hitters step out occasionally on this quick working pitcher. That one is under the knees, and it is now 2-1 on the second place hitter. Left-hander looks in for the sign, rocks and deals. And that is in there for a called strike. Another beautiful pitch. 2 strikes on Akers. He levels the bat a couple of times, a 2-strike pitch, and that almost got him. 1 out. We're in the home half of the first inning. A scoreless tie between the Cardinals and the Dodgers. Erickson. And strike 3 called. He knew it. And he has struck out the first 2, and now will set his sights on Mike Jacobs, the Cardinal third baseman. First pitch to Jacobs, inside fastball, ball 1. Jacobs, one of the top run producers in this Cardinal lineup. One reason why he's in that third spot. So many times the manager, and it's kind of a rule of thumb to some degree, that the third place hitter is the best hitter on your team. He lifts this one down the line. First base, cannot get there. Defensively, you got Camp at first, Mole at second. Portillo is the right fielder. Hitchcock at shortstop. Reno at third. As I said, Portillo in right, Schaefer center, Asher in left, Lopez catching, and the starting pitcher, the hard-throwing Erickson. Swing and a miss. Catcher couldn't hold on to the ball. 2 strikes on the third place hitter, batting with 2 out, nobody on here in the home half of the first. Erickson trying to strike out the side. He looks in for the sign. Sets up on the outside corner, and he got him swinging, and the inning is over. He strikes out the side. And after a half an inning of play, it's the Dodgers nothing and the Cardinals likewise. 7, 8, and 9 coming up for the Dodgers, and they'll start with Steve Camp. Camp, Ray Asher, and Mike Auer. Dodgers loaded the bases, a base hit, a couple of walks, could not score a run, and now looking for a little redemption as their lineup here in the top of the second inning. Jeff Lowry with you from Goodyear Ballpark. Second inning of work for Dan Nichols, who did a great job getting out of the inning and got some defensive help from Jacobs, his third baseman, and Collins in left field. Grounded hard, but that's going to be foul. Dodger first base coach corralling that last ball. Here's a swing and a fly ball foul out of play. Just a quick disclaimer, you might be wondering why we did not set up our camera directly behind home plate, and it's because of the netting. Here's a comebacker to Nichols, who takes care of business, literally walks it all the way over to first base, and that is out number 1. Ryan Gigax over at first base. 1 out here in the second inning, and the batter is Ray Asher. First pitch hacking, pops it up into shallow left center, right on the right on the cusp of the infield and the outfield, and the catch is made by the shortstop, Doug Harris, 2 down. That is 4 in a row set down by Dan Nichols of the Cardinals. 2 out, here's Mike Auer. First pitch strike. Auer, a guy that give you some flexibility, even though he's getting the start here today, a designated hitter. And a broken back, ground ball down to third. Jacobs up, throws low, and the first baseman could not scoop it. And heading to second is Mike Auer, and he's going to be in standing. That would have ended the inning. Instead, you got a runner in scoring position with 2 out, and Chad Mole getting set to dig in here for the Bay Area Dodgers. The error will be credited to third baseman Mike Jacobs. First pitch, ball 1, and Nichols didn't like the call. In there for a strike, and that evens the count on Mole at 1-1. Hard-nosed player. This is a guy that you want in there in clutch situations. Tried to hold up, but he went around and he knew it, and it's 1-2. So Nichols a strike away from getting out of this second inning. He's got a runner at second base with 2 out. And the 1-2 offering, and the changeup stays high. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the Bay Area Dodgers second baseman. Steve Reno is on deck. And now time is called, and they have called a balk on Dan Nichols. So heading on to third base is going to be Mike Auer, and now anything would score the potential first run of the contest. 2-2 offering. And this ball is in the air and playable for the shortstop. We're heading to the bottom half of the first inning. No score from Goodyear Ballpark in Goodyear, Arizona. And a great inning for Cardinal pitcher Dan Nichols. Doug Harris will start things off as we head now to the bottom half of the second. First pitch hitting, and grounds 1 to Mole at second, and he'll promptly throw him out. Over to Steve Camp, who is playing first base. There was a good look at Chad Mole, the outstanding second baseman. 1 down. Tom Layson. That one is in the dirt for a ball. Layson, a good line drive hitter. You want to keep him off the base pass because you have the dangerous Chuck Collins on deck. Swing and a miss. He was trying to put that one over the scoreboard in left field. Home half of the second inning were scoreless. The Dodgers and the Cardinals. The Cardinals out of probably one of the prime spots to visit in our country. A beautiful spot in Puget Sound. Here's a looper over the shortstop's head, but he drifts out and makes the catch. Nice job by Hitchcock, and there's 2 down here in the inning. All right, now the dangerous Chuck Collins. 5 in a row set down by Erickson to start the contest. He was tardy on a fastball away, and he fouls it back 0-1. A ball and a strike to the right-handed hitting Chuck Collins. First baseman Ryan Gigax is on deck. Just inside. 2-1 on Collins. Erickson. Winds, kicks, and deals. Swing and a miss. Good fastball. He's bringing it up there 80 plus. Maybe even the mid-80s. 2-strike pitch. And a chopper to third, picked up by Reno. And his perfect throw to first is in time to retire the side. 3 up and 3 down, 6 in a row set down by Erickson after 2. No score. Top half of the third inning, Jeff Lowry back here on the APN Baseball Network from Goodyear Ballpark. We head now to the top half of the third inning, and the batter is going to be Steve Reno, the Dodger third baseman. He'll be followed by Mike Smith, and then we go back to the top of the lineup in River Accioli. First pitch is low and away, ball 1. Swing and a miss. This is the third inning for starting pitcher Dan Nichols. On a gorgeous Chamber of Commerce day here in Goodyear, Arizona. This ballpark opened up in 2009. This one's out of play back towards our APN camera. Opened up in 2009 for the Cleveland Indians. And then the Reds joined the Indians this spring training. Chopper up along the line, third base side foul ball. I had the distinct honor of being the public address announcer here for the Cleveland Indians. That was a lot of fun. Met Bob Feller. Had a long, about 15, 20-minute conversation with the Hall of Famer. Here's a ground ball down to third. Jacobs throw on to first in time. 1 out. The batter's going to be Mike Smith. Smith, an outstanding hitter and a guy that you would not normally see at the bottom of the lineup. Takes the first pitch, low, ball 1. Well, we were getting ready to, we were probably a couple hours before game time. I was sitting up in the press box here at Goodyear Ballpark and having a conversation with the young man that was running the scoreboard and the telestrator out there, whatever it's called, Jumbotron, and heard the door open behind us. Didn't really think anything of it because people were coming in and out all the time there. And turned around, and here was a guy 91 years young as this ball is hit hard, and a diving play by the second baseman. He throws him out at first base. What a job. What a phenomenal defensive play by Kevin Akers. And we have seen some really outstanding glove work from the Cardinals in this game. A nice defensive play by Collins in left to end the inning with the bases loaded. Jacobs made a diving stab to get the fielder's choice on a ball hit by Robbie Hitchcock, but none were better than the play just made on Mike Smith by second baseman Kevin Akers. And now River Accioli will try to extend a 2-out top half of the third inning. But getting back to my story here, here's Bob Feller coming into the press box. I turn around, and I knew the instant I saw him who he was. And he proceeded to sit there and talk to us for about 15 or 20 minutes. And we talked about things about the ball field that his dad cleared from a cornfield or some kind of a lot near their house. That he would play. They would play ball there. It was almost like a Field of Dreams story, considering the fact that he is from Iowa, where the movie Field of Dreams was filmed. And we talked about World War II, where he was a distinguished veteran, a medal winner, right up to his playing days of facing players like Ted Williams and Joe DiMaggio. And it was just, for a true baseball fan and a guy like myself who knows the history, and River has just walked for the second time. And let's see if Dale Mole is going to be a little aggressive here, get River going. Robbie Hitchcock, the shortstop, is at the plate. He hammers one into right field, and a base hit will extend the inning. So runners are at first and second with 2 out. And Tom Schaefer now with an RBI opportunity. That is only the second hit of the day for the Bay Area Dodgers. Schaefer, one of the top run-producing machines on the field here. He lifts a fly ball back a second, and the play is made, and the inning is over. So a nice job by Kevin Akers, who retires the Dodgers with the catch. You can see it's a somewhat breezy day here at Goodyear Ballpark. We're heading to the home half of the third, and we are still scoreless. So we go to the bottom half of the third inning, and the first batter is going to be first baseman Ryan Giegex. Ron Sherman and Dan Nichols to follow. Third inning of work for starting pitcher Erickson. This guy looks awfully impressive here through the first 2 innings. He struck out the side in the first and got 3 ground ball outs in the second. He has set down the first 6 that he has faced. Chopper right back to the mound. Boy, he sawed off that bat. He throws him out at first. 1 up and 1 down here in the home half of the third, and here's Ron Sherman. You look at the third baseman, Mr. Reno at third, Steve Reno. First pitch. In there for a called strike. Ron Sherman didn't like the call. There's a swing and a miss. 0-2 is the count on Ron Sherman. The only problem with arguing with these guys, giving these umpires a hard time, and I know they get paid per game, but most of these guys are coming from out of town. Here's the 0-2 pitch first, and he struck him out. That was a hard breaking ball down and in. 2 down, that is the 4th strikeout from the left-hander Erickson. 2 out in the inning, and here's Dan Nichols, the starting pitcher for the Cardinals. Scoreless tie, bottom of the third, 2 out and nobody on. High chopper. Pitcher will give way to Reno, the third baseman, in a 1-2-3 inning. 9 in a row, and the first 9 set down by Erickson. We go to the top of the 4th inning, but we're still scoreless. Goodyear Ballpark, the winter home of the Cleveland Indians and the Cincinnati Reds, is the site of the 2010 MSBL World Series. And somewhat surprising that Dan Nichols is out of the ball game, and he's going to give way to new pitcher Tom Layson. It might be a matter that Nichols has already pitched enough innings. He may have thrown yesterday or the day before, or thrown a lot of innings this week. So nonetheless, Nichols goes the first 3. He did a sensational job, gave up 2 hits, no runs. He walked 3 as this ball gets by the third baseman out into left field. So Mark Lopez is aboard for the second time. His second base hit of the ball game. He's 2 for 2. Craig Bolris is the batter. He hit into a 5-3 fielder's choice. Runner goes on the first pitch. It was taken for a ball. The throw down, and that was close. So a stolen base, the first of the day. And Bolris drives one foul into the seats and out of play. Bolris bounced out 5-2, that play that came to the plate. That would have been the first run of the contest. Runner at second with nobody out and a scoreless tie, top of the 4th. Dodgers batting. Here's a ground ball foul. The check of the runner, the pitch. Just off the outside corner. High fly ball down the left field line. A long run for Collins. A shortstop, and he could not make the play. Doug Harris went a long ways for that ball and probably should have gave way to the left fielder Collins, who had the play in front of him. Next pitch is driven in the air to straightaway center field. Coming on and making the catch for out number one is the center fielder, Bob Bader. Art Portillo. Art flied to left field his first time up. He pops it up, playable for the catcher. He comes back, and did he make the catch or not? He sure did. What a job. What an excellent catch by Jeff McRoberts. So 2 down. That is the fourth really standout catch we have seen here today by the Cardinals defense, and one reason why this game is still tied at 0-0. Now Steve Camp. So they had the runner in scoring position with nobody out, but a fly ball to center field and a pop-up to the catcher. And now the Dodgers need a 2-out hit from Camp, who takes a strike. Top of the fourth, no score. The check of the runner, the pitch to the plate. That's ball 4. First and second, and now Ray Asher will come to the plate. You're watching the 2010 MSBL World Series as you get a look at Ray Asher. Asher popped up to the shortstop back in the second, his only time up. And this one off the end of the bat, fielded by the third baseman. We will not get him. And boy, what a spectacular play down there by the first baseman, saving that ball from going out into and down the right field line. Dwayne Baldwin now patrolling first base. That's a base hit all the way. That is the fourth hit off Cardinal pitching for the Dodgers. Next batter is Mike Auer, a drive to right, and reaching up and making the catch, saving 2 or 3 runs to end the inning, is Darian Brugman. No runs, 3 left. That is the 5th outstanding defensive play the Cardinals have pulled in this game. And it has truly paid off as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. George Kent, Jeff McRoberts, and Dwayne Baldwin, the first 3 scheduled here for the Cardinals. Swing and a miss. Erickson has thrown 3 perfect innings. He has struck out 4. George Kent. Erickson tried to put a little extra mustard on that last fastball. Kent batting for the first time. They are batting, it looks like they're batting 13. Chopper foul. Mark Lopez doing the catching, number 19, as you get a close-up look at George Kent. We're in the home half of the 4th inning and a scoreless tie, and the next pitch stays upstairs. Out of play to the right side. They'll find the 5th row of seats. Erickson, 2-strike pitching again. And they will appeal. I don't think he went. Sean Erickson on the mound. Popped him up and out of play again, trying to set down his 10th in a row. He kicks and he deals. And this one is on the infield, and he jammed another jam shot again. Mole comes in from second base to make the running catch. So a fine play by the second baseman brings up Jeff McRoberts. McRoberts made a sensational catch up against the netting here at Goodyear Ballpark on a short pop-up. He fouls it straight back and is down 0-1. Dwayne Baldwin scheduled on deck. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. The left-hander looks in for the sign. He comes playward. Struck him out swinging in the end, and that is out number 2. 5 strikeouts for Sean Erickson. And now the first baseman, Dwayne Baldwin. Swing and a miss. Baldwin, one of the rare players that will bat right and throw left. I'll tell you, the Jacobs throw on the infield hit by Asher last inning with 2 on at the time, as Erickson jumps out in front 0-2. He had to leap to get that high throw. That ball gets away. 2 runs probably score. So we have seen really 6 plays in this game by the Cardinal defense as this ball is lifted in the air, pretty deep center field. That's a long run, and the ball's going to be dropped by the center fielder. Here comes the runner to second. He'll hold up at first. So Baldwin will reach on an error by the center fielder. He is the first base runner of the contest for Puget Sound. And here's Darian Brugman. Brugman, a little tardy, fouls it out of play. No balls, 1 strike. Ground ball to the right side. Mole has it. The underhanded flip, and the inning is over. So at the end of 4 innings of play, we are still scoreless, coming to you from Goodyear Ballpark in the 2010 MSBL World Series. Top of the 5th inning. Chad Mole, Steve Reno, Mike Smith, the bottom 3 in the lineup for the San Lorenzo, California native Dale Mole, the manager of the Bay Area Dodgers team. Well, so far you would not know that the Cardinals are 0-5 and the Dodgers are 4-1. What a play there by the pitcher. And Tom Layson had to lay out for that one, and another spectacular play by the Cardinal D. That's 7 of them. Steve Reno. Breaking ball in there, called strike. Grounded hard, knocked down by the third baseman. He's up, he throws, he will not get him. That is the second error on the Cardinal third baseman, where defense has been such a vital part of the success so far in this game, as the bunt attempt. And the throw goes down to second. The runner was going. I thought he fouled it off, and he's going to end up at third. And that's another error. So all the bragging about all this great defense, and now back-to-back errors. And here's a swing and a drive down the left field line out of play. It's probably going to result in a run scored here for the Bay Area Dodgers with a runner at third with nobody out. And the pitch to Smith, and that went off his foot. Boy, that hurts. He'll try to shake it off. Yeah, it's always funny when it happens to somebody else. Let's see if he can come through here. 2-strike pitch inside. He's still shaking it off. Still trying to shake it off. That, I'll tell you, when you foul one off that bony part of your ankle, that hurts. Here's a high pop-up on the infield. The catcher's going to try to make the play, and that's the third baseman's ball. That's got to be the third baseman's ball. Ron Sherman probably should have called him off. That is just too hard to make that catch with that big, thick catcher's mitt at that angle. And now a drive into the gap. Here's the right fielder coming on. He'll make the catch, but the runner will tag and score. And the Dodgers draw first blood and lead it 1-0 on a sacrifice fly by Mike Smith. Scoring is Steve Reno. That is an unearned run charged to Tom Layson in his second inning of work. We go back to the top of the Bay Area lineup and River Accioli. He has walked both times but has failed to score. You had a leadoff walk, obviously, in the first and a two-out walk in the third. Here's a smash down to third. Sherman has it. Low throw in time. I think River is slightly injured playing in this game. Otherwise, he would be out in the field. And a good job by the Cardinals preventing any more damage. So with a run coming across, the Dodgers take the lead. It's 1-0. We're in the 3-2 Sports 35 Wood Central Division. Final game of round robin play. Tomorrow the Dodgers will start their playoff run. They have already clinched a playoff spot, while, of course, Puget Sound coming in with a record of 0-5. Bob Bader, he was a strikeout victim in the first, going up against Sean Erickson, who has yet to yield a base hit through the first 4 innings of play. Beautiful pitch, called third strike on the outside corner. Strikeout number 6 for Sean Erickson. Kevin Ackers has done a nice job in the field at second base. He was caught looking. Strikeout victim in that first inning where Erickson struck out the side. He has 6 strikeouts in the contest. The thing I like about Erickson, and just watching him through the first 5 innings here, or 4 plus, I guess, is the fact of the matter, for the most part, I mean, he's throwing strikes, as this one's fouled off. He's throwing strikes. He's around the plate or over the plate most of the time. I would imagine his strike-to-ball ratio is at least 2/3 strikes to balls. But he works quickly, and the defense appreciates that, as this ball is grounded down to first, 2 down in the inning. So Bolras, who has taken over from his DH spot, takes care of business, 2 down at first base. And Mike Jacobs is first pitch hitting. And the first baseman makes a play, a tumbling catch. The peanut gallery will charge him big time for that play. But he makes the catch, and the inning is over. We're heading to the 6th inning from Goodyear Ballpark. 1-0 Dodgers on the APN Baseball Network. 2, 3, and 4 for the Dodgers. Jeff Lowry with you from Goodyear Ballpark. 0-1 is the count on the shortstop, who is hit into a 5-4 fielder's choice and had a base hit back in the third. He grounds one towards the hole, and the shortstop can't play it. That ball gets away from Doug Harris, and that's an error. And that is the 4th error of the game by the Cardinal defense. Tom Schaefer will try to make him pay for that error. He has walked and popped up to second. And he lines one past the first baseman into right field. A big base hit, putting the runners at first and second. And that is hit number 5 for the Bay Area Dodgers, and the batter is going to be Mark Lopez. He's 2 for 2. And he takes the first pitch outside, ball 1. 2 on with nobody out, first and second. Layson delivers, and it's in there for a strike to even the count on the Bay Area Dodger cleanup hitter and catcher at 1 ball and 1 strike. There's a wide shot of the stadium. Tom Layson in inning number 3. Here's a line smash. That looked like it kicked up some chalk. That's a fair ball. It's going to score another run, and it's 2-0 in favor of the Dodgers. And Mark Lopez having an outstanding ball game. Scoring was Robbie Hitchcock. So the runners are at first and third. An unearned run coming across. And the first baseman, Craig Bolris. Well, let's see if this is the inning that this Dodger offense comes alive. Both runs are unearned. And after you consider the fact that the Cardinals had 7 really, really good plays in this game to keep the score at 0-0, the Cardinals have committed 3 errors over the last 2 innings that have led to 2 unearned runs. Now, the 2 runners on base would be earned. Here's a smash, just foul. And if you're the Cardinals here, you'll give up the run to get the out, I would imagine. You don't want to get into a big inning, especially when you're battling with the heart of this Dodger lineup. Here's another hard hit smash foul. Keeping the left fielder busy for the Puget Sound team, which is now George Kent. Earlier it was Chuck Collins. Collins is now behind the plate. Hit hard again, right down the line. The check of the runners with first and second and nobody out, and a grounder to the shortstop. They'll go 2nd-1. Can they turn the double play? They do not. So Bolris grounds into a fielder's choice. Scoring is Schaefer, and it's 3-0. First pitch to Portillo is a called strike. 0-1 on the hard-hitting right-handed hitter. He tried to hold up, could not. 0-2. So Chuck Collins now doing the catching for the Puget Sound Cardinals. Foul ball third base side, still 0-2. There's a noisy stadium here with the airport. Ground ball third, cut off by the third baseman who's up and throws, and that was a bang play at first base, and he beat it out. So an infield hit puts him on first and second. And now the left-handed hitting Steve Camp. Grounded foul, first base side. Nice job by third base coach Mike Smith. You know, you talk about those 3 errors that have led to at least 2 runs here. There should be 2 outs here. Layson has actually pitched very well. Both pitchers, Nichols and Layson for the Cards, have done a great job. Quick throw back to second, and the runner is back safely. Swing and a foul. Steve Camp walked his last time up, bounced out, pitcher to first, back in the second. Grounded to the first baseman. He'll take it to the bag and get the sure out. That's a smart play. A lot of guys in this league, they come out and they're trying to pull a triple play on everything hit to them, and sometimes you just get the safe out. That's the best course of action. So now Ray Asher, who is 1 for 2, he had a single his last time up. Runners are at second and third now. Now, if those 2 runs come in, that's unearned runs. Squibb down the line and just foul. Just foul. Ron Sherman patrolling the hot corner for Puget Sound. Popped him up. Third base side, foul territory. It's going to find the seats. Ready with the next pitch. 2-strike pitch. Changeup. In the air, center field. Coming in. Can he make a play on it? He cannot. He plays it on the hop. Bader's throw home, and the throw is in time. They got him. Oh, what a play. Another tremendous defensive play by the Cardinals, and the side is retired. Another run comes in. It's a base hit RBI for Asher as the play goes 8-2, gunning down the lead runner. And at the end of 5.5 innings of play, it is now 4-0 Bay Area Dodgers. As you get a look at some of those airplanes flying over, of course, Goodyear Ballpark out beyond the right field fence here. And boy, it would be a gorgeous day to be up there, wouldn't it? It certainly would. So we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. It'll be Doug Harris, the shortstop, who will lead things off for Puget Sound. That is 8 outstanding plays we've seen defensively by Puget Sound, and the reason they are down, 3 errors in 2 innings. Three of the 4 runs are unearned. Swing and a miss. A big, hard fastball that time from Sean Erickson, who is pitching a gem. This looks like it might be an instant classic here on APN Sports, the way he's been throwing the ball. Here's the next delivery. In the air. Backing up is Mole, the second baseman. He'll give way to the right fielder. Portillo comes on, and that's out number 1 here in the home half of the 6th inning. Activity in the Puget Sound bullpen. Mike Jacobs begins to loosen up. Tom Layson rounded out 6-3 back in the 2nd inning. Erickson has set down 5 in a row after the Dwayne Baldwin reached on an error back in the 4th inning. Unfortunately, the shadows are creeping into Goodyear Ballpark. And that is the first walk issued by Sean Erickson. So they got a base runner aboard. He has set down 16 of the 18 batters that he has faced. And Chuck Collins skies one down the first base line, but it's out of play. Grounded out the third, his first and only time up in the 2nd. Swing and a miss. He made a nice play out in left field on a line drive with the bases loaded and 2 out. He saved 2 or 3 runs, and it ended the inning. That was in the top of the 1st inning. He's up there trying to get the first hit of the night or of the day for the Cardinals. He may have it. It's hit the short. They get the force out. They're going to turn the double play, but the throw to first is not in time. And what a sensational play at shortstop by Mike Auer. Hang a star on that one. 2 down, and here's Ryan Gigex. Boy, a high and tight pitch, and that pitch right there tells you the kind of movement that Erickson has on his fastball. Oh and 2. Boy, I'll tell you, being a left-hander against this guy's got to be awfully tough. And when those shadows creep up across the pitcher's mound, it's going to be even tougher. Struck him out swinging, and the inning is over. That is his 7th of the ball game. And we head to the 7th from Goodyear Ballpark. The Dodgers leading it 4-0. Mike Auer, who made a great play at shortstop, going in the hole and perfectly throwing to second to get the fielder's choice, bounces one up the middle, and he's got a base hit, though fielded by the shortstop behind the bag at second. So his first hit of the contest. Nine hits as this ball gets away. 9 hits now for the Dodgers. The ball got away from Collins. He tried a valiant effort there to keep that ball in front of him, but it's going to be a stolen base nonetheless. And now the Dodgers and Chad Mole. Mole has popped a shortstop. He has grounded out pitcher to first on that great play by Tom Layson, who is now working in inning number 4. The first 3 was taken care of by starting pitcher Dan Nichols. Dodgers first scored as that's ball 4, and the runners are at first and second with nobody out. Scored their first run, an unearned run in the 5th, added 3 in the 6th, and they are knocking on the door again here in the 7th inning. Runners going. Here's the throw down to third. And I'll tell you, a fine defensive play by the catcher, or the third baseman, Mike Jacobs, keeping that ball from going down the left field line. So now the runners are at first and third. As the runner takes off for second, that will not be a stolen base. Mike Auer with a couple of steals stands at third. And Chad Mole is at second. Reno reached on an error and scored back in the 5th inning. He grounded out the third in the 3rd. Top of the 7th inning from Goodyear. Good pitch, a called strike. Ground ball down to third. Jacobs holds the runner and throws to first. So a nice job by Jacobs. 1 out. They're going to need more than that to get out of this inning with runners at second and third. The batter is going to be Mike Smith. First pitch. Fouled straight back and out of play. It's 0-1. Smith had a sacrifice fly to drive in the game's first run. That was in the 5th inning. He bats with 2 on, 1 out. His team leading 4-0 here in the top of the 7th inning. Layson in inning number 4 and didn't miss by much. And Mike Smith almost committed on that pitch. Swing and a miss. Well, that's a huge strikeout for Tom Layson, and if anything else, Layson is really battling out there, trying to work out of this jam. Get a look at the defensive alignment here. We're going to get a pinch hitter. This is going to be Dressen. So Dressen batting for the first time. With 2 out and 2 on, top of the 7th inning, the Dodgers batting. They lead it 4-0. That pitch inside for a ball. Layson got the benefit of the doubt from the umpire on that pitch. Dressen trying to come up as he is added to the bottom of the lineup here. Needs an RBI. And that one landing in the upper deck down the left field line. Here's the next delivery. Popped him up, and another foul ball that travels into the seats. 2-strike pitch to the right-handed hitter. Change up, and boy, did Layson want that pitch. A tough pitch for Dressen to lay off of. He chops one down to third. Jacobs behind the bag. The long throw, the stretch by the first baseman, Dwayne Baldwin. And, boy, he's done a great job since coming in. No runs, 2 left. We have played 6.5. It is still 4-0 Dodgers as Sean Erickson digs in for inning number 7. It'll be Sherman, Nichols, and Kent, and Sherman went after the high cheese and came up empty-handed. Sherman, one of the 7 strikeouts in this contest. 1-1. Not a bad idea that time by Sean Erickson to go back upstairs and see if Sherman would extend his strike zone a little bit. He looks in for the sign. He kicks, he deals. That one's low for a ball. 6 runs, 9 hits. The totals for the Dodgers, no runs, no hits for the Cardinals. Ball 4, second walk issued by Sean Erickson. And this is the first time that the Cardinals have had a leadoff hitter aboard, with Dan Nichols, the starting pitcher for the Cardinals, coming up. Bounced out 5-3, his first and only time up in the third. Boy, not a bad looking pitch there, but it's outside, ball 1. As we said, the Cardinals are batting 13. If you're wondering why Nichols, this is only his second at bat in 7 innings. He grounds one down the left field line, and there it is, the first hit of the contest. That'll break up the no-hitter. And Nichols will be lifted for a courtesy runner. And, well, the no-hitter after 6+ innings is going by the wayside. Now George Kent. See how they play this. Kent swinging away. No, I know it's kind of late in the game to be bunting here, but if you bunt those 2 guys over and then they score, now all of a sudden you put a little pressure on the defense, but it's kind of tough to ask someone to come up there and bunt. But I think the way Erickson's been pitching, who knows? Of course, he could be tiring. He walked the batter and gave up his first hit, but he's still throwing the ball extremely hard here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. He struck him out swinging. He went around, foul-tipped it into the glove. That is the 8th strikeout of the contest. And that is the first out of the inning. And now Puget Sound catcher Jeff McRoberts. Hit hard to center field, and another base hit, the second one of the day. And the bases are going to be loaded as the center fielder races in. And now the tying run is at the plate in Dwayne Baldwin. Well, just to have a little fun, now if I was managing the Cardinals and if I had bunted, you'd had a run. And a runner at first and a runner at third. But if those 2 guys come in and score anyway, it doesn't really matter. It's Baldwin, who reached on an error his only time up in the 4th inning. And he has played sensational down at first base. So Erickson now working on a 2-hit shutout. Bases loaded with 1 out. And for the first time today, or at least since for the first time today, Erickson is kind of laboring out there just a bit. So Dwayne Baldwin with a good cut at that outside fastball. Had to blow up the screen just a bit just so you could see him. with these shadows. I think our camera is actually doing a pretty good job of differentiating the two, the contrast between the bright light and the shadows. I think it looks better the other way. We've brightened it up. We brightened up the home plate area, but then it kind of blasts the sun part of the field. So we'll go back to, well, this doesn't look too bad. Erickson's a little bright. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out, and that was money. 9 strikeouts for Erickson. 2 down in the inning. And Darian Brugman. Swing and a miss. And now the ball gets away from the pitcher. The shortstop will pick it up, but no advancement. 0-1 on Brugman. Bounced out 4-6 on a fielder's choice to end the 4th inning, his only at bat. A ball and a strike to this big, strong right-hand hitter. The pitch. Fouled back, and he is a strike away, an out away from getting out of a bases-loaded jam. It started with a walk and a single after a strikeout, a base hit to load him up. He struck out Baldwin. He's going to try to strike out Brugman here. The pitch, he sure did on a slider down and in, and the inning is over. A great job by Sean Erickson. At the end of 7, it's still 4-0 Dodgers. What a pitching performance by Sean Erickson. 2 hits on the day. Went 6+ of no-hit baseball. And just when you thought maybe he was tiring out, he strikes out the side for the 2nd time today. Here's a ground ball to the right side. Took a bad hop on the second baseman, but he stayed with it and throws him out at first. So a good job by the second baseman, who is now Ryan Gagax, or Gagix. I'm not sure how he pronounces it. And here's a fly ball, deep center field, long run, and that's going to fall in for Robbie Hitchcock. He will head to second with a 1-out double. So with a runner at second, Tom Schaefer, the third-place hitter in the lineup, digs in. He's first pitch hacking. He towers one into right center field. The center fielder comes on in Bader to make the catch, 2 down. The catcher is Mark Lopez. In there for a called strike. It's 0-1. Lopez has had a great game here today. A single in the first, a single in the 4th, and a big RBI single in the 6th inning. Trying to keep his perfect game alive. And he lines one right at third, and the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Bottom half of the 8th inning coming up. Nice play down at the hot corner by Jeff McRoberts. And they have done a lot of defensive switching here. The wind now blowing straight in from left center field. In the 2nd inning, 8th inning of work now for Sean Erickson, coming off an inning in which he struck out the side. But now we'll face the top of the lineup: Bob Bader, Kevin Akers, and Mike Jacobs. 10 strikeouts, 2 walks, 2 hits for Sean Erickson. High chopper foul. Boy, that wind really starting to pick up. You couldn't hear it earlier. It was blowing from right center field to left center field, but now it's blowing straight in on us, and that foul ball got a piece of the Dodger catcher. Well, he's trying to shake it off. That hurts. So Lopez gets back behind the plate, the dish, and this one is lined out of play. Bader is struck out twice, caught looking, back in the 5th inning. He went around, and this is a hat trick of strikeouts for him. And that's out number 1. 11 Ks for Sean Erickson. Kevin Akers, a strikeout victim. He also is grounded out. He's 0 for 2. I don't know which one I like better. I think I like it better not just letting the camera adjust to the contrast. Left-hander on left-hander, grounded to the right side. The second baseman is there, and Chad throws him out at first base, 2 down in the inning. Chad Mole has had a fine game this afternoon. Jacobs comes up empty-handed, down 0-1. Bottom of the 8th inning. Goodyear Ballpark. We're in the 35 Woods Central. The 3-in-2 Sports 35 Woods Central. The Dodgers are heading to the playoffs en route to their 5th win in 6 round-robin games. And starting pitcher Sean Erickson, a strike away from ringing up his 12th Puget Sound Cardinal on strikes. The 2-strike pitch. And here's a smash out into right center field. That's going to be a gapper, and this should be extras for Jacobs. Or will it? No. He held up with a long single. So Mike Jacobs is aboard with a 2-out single, and here's Doug Harris. Harris is grounded to second. He has flied to right. Only the 3rd hit of the day for the Cardinals. And Erickson leaves that one high and away, ball 1. Sean's biggest fan, boy, I'll tell you, she has been rooting him on nonstop for about 5 innings. And I think as a player, you do appreciate it. You know, even if there's only a few people in the crowd, I think you really do appreciate when people are out there cheering you on. He's fallen behind 3 balls, no strikes. Well, last time we said he showed signs of maybe a little fatigue. He came back and struck out the side. He's working on a 3-hit shutout. And the throw over to first, and the runner is back. Ready with the next offering. And that's ball 4. So after retiring the first 2 batters, Bader and Akers, Jacobs singles, Harris walks, and Dale Mole will come out, the gentleman out of San Lorenzo, California. He's just going to talk to his pitcher, who undoubtedly would love to finish this thing up. But the way this guy pitches, I don't know if I would, of course you want to win the game, but you don't want to run his pitch count too high, because this guy's somebody you might want to use tomorrow, or if you make it to a championship game on Saturday, you'd like to bring him back. He's thrown a lot of pitches in this game, but he's been pretty efficient. I would imagine his pitch count's got to be somewhere, I would say somewhere around 100, 90 to 110 maybe, 95 to 110. Just an estimation. He's had some very easy innings. The first inning he had a lot of pitches. Layson has walked. He has grounded to shortstop. He's got a chance. Hey, I'll tell you what, the Cardinals are still in this game. I mean, technically the tying run is on deck in a 4-0 lead here. And that is strike 3 called on a beautiful breaking ball on the outside corner. 12 strikeouts for Erickson. We're heading to the 9th inning, 4-0 Dodgers. This is APN Sports, and we'll be back from Goodyear in just a moment. Hey, getting a shot outside of Goodyear Baseball Park. This ballpark opened up in 2009 for the Cleveland Indians, and then was joined by the Cincinnati Reds in 2010. We got a new pitcher on the mound. It's going to be right-hander Mike Jacobs. I don't know if Jacobs was in there last inning. We were not told of the pitching change, so if we missed it, we apologize. So Jacobs, who has played third base for a good part of the game, will now go to work on 5, 6, and 7 in the Bay Area lineup. Craig Bolris, Portillo, and Camp. Top of the ninth inning, 4-0 Dodgers. We're in the 3-2 Sports, 35 and over Woods Central Division. Chopper foul. Third base coach, Robbie Hitchcock. And that ball's hammered foul. I notice that Dale Mole is coaching well off the line. Probably knows that Craig's a big-time pull hitter. Bolris, 2 strikes. In the air to center field. Long run. Nobody's going to get to this one. And a great job by Bader to cut it off. Here comes the runner to second. Here comes the throw, and they held him up. He got about maybe 60% of the way down the line and then had to turn on the brakes. So Bolris with his first base hit of the contest. He has an RBI to his credit. Courtesy runner is Tom Schaefer. And we're going to get a new hitter up there. This is Sean Erickson batting for the first time. Swing and a miss. Runner at first, nobody out. We're in the top of the ninth. Dodgers lead 4-0 in the 2010 World Series. Runner takes off. Good throw down, and it's just a little late. So a stolen base for Tom Schaefer. Good eye by Erickson. He acted like he wanted to take a stab at it. Low and inside. Erickson up there. He has pitched 8 innings of 3-hit baseball, shutout baseball, where he has struck out 12. And is now trying to get that runner in from second with nobody out. And give himself, in essence, a 5-run cushion. And it will be interesting to see if he comes out and pitches the 9th inning. And that's strike 3 called. Erickson will not complain about it because he's gotten some of those pitches out on the mound himself. So with 1 out, let's see if Steve Camp is going to go ahead and bat. Wow. These airplanes are loud. Camp is 0 for 2 with a walk. And he takes a letter-high fastball for a strike. He didn't like the call. Oh and 1 the count to Camp. He swings and lifts it in the air out of play over the third base dugout, and he's down no balls and 2 strikes. There are some of the fans in attendance. High fly ball out into right center field, fairly deep. Bader makes the catch. He's done a great job in center field. Here's a long throw to third. He'll be cut off. Good base running by Tom Schaefer on the fly out to the center fielder. And with 2 out, here's Ray Asher, who is working on a 2-for-3 day and an RBI. Runner at third, 2 out. Pitch is outside for a ball. A 3-run 6th inning for the Bay Area Dodgers has been the difference. Cardinals have repeatedly, all afternoon long, have made great defensive plays, but their defense broke down in the 5th and 6th inning. They made 3 errors that led to 3 unearned runs, and that has been, in essence, the difference in the contest. And I might add, the 3-hit shutout pitching of Sean Erickson. Ray Asher digging in. Hammers one up the middle. That's a run-producing 2-out single. 5-0 in favor of the Dodgers. His second straight RBI at bat scores Tom Schaefer from third. And he'll get a glad hand from some of his teammates and a good piece of hitting by Ray Asher. Mike Auer is 1 for 3 on the contest. He's also had a couple of stolen bases. The first pitch. Chuck Collins with a fake throw down to first. Ground ball to the shortstop. He will field, he will throw, and got him at first. Good job by the first baseman, Dwayne Baldwin. A run comes across, however, and the Dodgers here in the 9th inning, 3 outs away from picking up their 5th victory in 6 round-robin games. They lead at 5-0. Well, Erickson's going to come out and try to finish what he started. Chuck Collins will start things off. He's 0 for 2. He's done a great job in the field, and swing and a miss by this dangerous right-handed hitter. Chuck, Ryan, and Ron, the first 3. And that is good morning, good afternoon, good night. 13 Ks in the game for Sean Erickson. And there's 1 down in the inning, and the batter is going to be Ryan Gigax. You guys are probably laughing. I'm probably not putting the right emphasis on his name, the right syllable. He is 0 for 2. The Dodgers 2 outs away from picking up a victory here from Goodyear. Chopper towards the hole, cut off by the third baseman. The low throw scooped out beautifully by the first baseman. And that is Craig Bolris. So Steve Reno, a short hop throw, and Bolris, fantastic job with the scoop. And now down to their final out is the Puget Sound Cardinals and Ron Sherman. He has struck out and walked in 2 plate appearances. The first pitch is lifted in the air, and it's going to be out of play. No balls and 1 strike. 8th hitter in the lineup for Puget Sound. Portillo returns to right field. The 0-1 count. Swing and a miss. And the Cardinals are down to their final strike of the contest. Sean Erickson, who has struck out 13 Cardinals in the game, 1 out away, 1 strike away from ending this game and picking up a complete game shutout. The 0-2 pitch, and he left it a little high, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. One of the great pitching performances we have ever had on APN Sports. And as you can imagine, and down through the years with the aluminum bats, a lot of high-scoring games. Here's the 1-2 offering. And he hit his target, but it was about a foot outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ron Sherman. With 2 out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And here's the pitch. And he bounced it up there. It's 3-2. So the Dodgers, with a 5-0 lead 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Ron Sherman. With 2 out, and he swings and he fouls it off at the plate. He's going to stay alive at least for one more pitch. Erickson trying to dig deep for that good, hard fastball. 3 balls, 2 strikes again, 2 out, bottom of the 9th, the pitch. He struck him out swinging, and the ball game is over. The Dodgers win it 5-0 in impressive fashion, and Erickson goes the distance. A magnificent 3-hit shutout, and he strikes out 14. Our APN Sports Player of the Game is Sean Erickson. This has been a presentation of APN Sports, Arizona's leader in amateur sports coverage. Again, a special thanks out to Dale Mole, and congratulations to the Dodgers. We wish them the best in the 2010 World Series playoffs. And until next time, this is Jeff Lowry saying so long from the home of the Indians and the Cincinnati Reds in spring training, Goodyear Ballpark. And until next year, so long, everybody. You've been watching the 2010 MSBL World Series. For more information on our APN videos, go to apnvideo.com.